Welcome back to Kicking It with KG. In this video, we're going to be reacting to my latest video, hunting down the bobcat that killed my pet duck. Now, we're going to be doing like behind the scenes, kind of what I was thinking, pausing it throughout the video, letting you know what I was really thinking in the back of my mind, as well as reading some of the comments. And since we killed a bobcat, some people don't like it. But let's just get straight on into it, and let's start this video.
This is my pond, and this is Declan and Shantae, the ducks that live on my pond. Or should I say lived? Because just a week ago, this bobcat came sneaking down to the pond edge and snatched Declan right out of his roost, instantly cutting my duck population in half.
One thing I do want to talk about is my duck population. Where did they even come from? Like, are Declan and Shantae wild? No, they're not wild. So Declan is a khaki Campbell, which I think is just like a little brown duck, domestic, so not wild. And then Shantae is a Muscovy duck. I got them, both of them, from my buddy Tate. But Muscovy ducks are native somewhere, but not here. But anyways, Tate, she was kind of a wild duck to be at a duck farm homestead thing. And so he's like, man, this duck's pretty off the wall. So he's like, would you want to put her at the pond? I'm like, heck yeah, bring her down to the pond. We'll let her live free, you know, American or something. So we came, turned them out, and they done great. That was until Declan got snatched.
This bobcat is a certified killer. Not too far away in the woods, I've been getting a lot of trail cam footage of this guy killing other animals too. In the span of only 4 days, I got footage of this bobcat dragging off a squirrel, a possum, and even another squirrel.
And I also had someone in the comments say, because in the video I said that this bobcat's a certified killer. I had someone in the comments say, what do you mean a certified killer? That's what cats do. Cats kill stuff every day. That's just what they do. And I was like, dude, that's literally what I just said. We agree that they're a certified killer. Why are you getting mad at me? I think some people think that I'm like paying this bobcat to go kill my animals. I didn't plan on Declan getting snatched. Declan's just not all there. Not anywhere now. And I mean, that is what wild animals do. They just kill stuff. I think that some people think that I'm somehow staging this to where I'm like intentionally making my animals get killed. But you can't really tell a duck to die, and you can't really tell a bobcat to go eat him. They just happen to live close to each other. But that doesn't always mean that we like want them to kill each other. If anyone has a farm, you know what I mean. But if you've never had a farm before, you don't really plan on your animals getting killed, and sometimes there's really not much you can do about it. I guess I could build a giant bird cage around the pond, but that's not a good idea. Okay. Maybe losing a duck every 3 years is okay, opposed to building a fly pen over top of the pond. And the alternative is to just not have ducks at the pond, which is boring.
And the worst part about it is just last night I got another trail cam video of this bobcat back on the pond looking for more ducks. And so in this video, we're going to be doing everything we can to hunt down and kill this bobcat. So without further ado, commence the operation. Killer capture. We're going after the killer bobcat, and he will be named Tai Long.
And apparently Tai Long is not a bobcat. I was also corrected in the comments, but he looks pretty bobcat-y to me.
Now, to take out this bobcat, we're going to be doing two main things. The first is hunting with a predator call and thermals. As for right now, we're going to be setting traps, foothold traps to be exact. We're going to be setting a couple traps today, and they're both going to be on a dirt hole set. First, you set the trap in the ground, and then you cover it up as if it's not even there.
And fun fact about it not even being there, I had my buddy Abram over. He was just chilling kind of, and he was walking down to the pond. And he was like, do you have a trapper here? I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah. Yeah, I stepped on it. So it was in there so good, so secretive, so hidden, that a human got caught by the trap. Now, obviously, it didn't hurt him because it's just a little steel trap. They don't really hurt. But I just think that's cool that my trap was so undercover that he didn't even know it was there. Now, maybe that's not a good thing, but I think it was cool.
And you take a punch and drill a hole down in the dirt. That's where we're going to put our bait and try to attract the bobcat to investigate. And in the process of investigating the hole, that's where we're hoping that he steps his foot right down in the trap. and is held there until we can get to him the very next day. Bobcats are one of the most successful hunters in the woods, with a success rate of over 50%. Although they don't have a great sense of smell, their eyesight is incredible.
Yeah, about that. About their success rate being so good. Let me pull something up real quick. Predator high successes? I don't know what I'm looking at, but I want you to look at this. There are some predators out there. So, you know, there's a bunch of predators out in the world. Well, some of them's better than others. We're about to check this out. It's crazy because imagine your little chihuahua out there. How many times does it go outside? And how many times does it actually kill something? Probably hardly ever. But it's crazy to think that some animals, when they go hunting, they come back with food. Humans, take the best hunter ever. They don't even kill stuff most of the time. It's crazy. African wild dogs. Let's search these bad boys up. With an 85% success rate. What even is this? An African wild dog. Kind of looks like a hyena dog to me. Obviously, it's not, but one of the most successful hunter ever. And, I mean, let's look up hunting because how do they even do it? I guess they pack up. They are dogs. Yeah, they kind of, yeah. Yeah, they just pack up and rip it apart. I mean, it looks like they're super fast. And it looks like there's so many of them, they never get tired. It's just crazy. Then you got the black-footed cat. Cats is going to be a common theme. I'm surprised those dogs are so good at killing. But let's see what this cat is. I don't even know what that is. Oh. Okay, it's a cat. Pretty much bobcat. Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe its prey is really, really easy to kill. I don't know. Cheetah. 58% success rate. That's crazy. And then leopard, 38. Domestic cat, 32. Lions, 25. I think I said in the video that it's over. And because of that, before I left, I think I said in the video that bobcats are over 50%. I do think that is right. Because I looked it up before I said that. Bobcat hunt success rate, 2.7. That's not true. No, that's for people hunting cats. How often do hunters take a bobcat? That is not what we're looking for either. We're looking for, well, I found it somewhere and it said it was over 50%. Here it says the black-footed cat's 60, and realistically, they seem very similar. I would say a bobcat's very similar to that black-footed cat, but I know it's over 50%, which is just crazy. But I also don't know how they determine that. Like, who's the guy that just walks around with a bobcat and takes it hunting to figure that out? I have no idea how they figure it out. All I know is that I got three days in a row, I had the bobcat in the same spot carrying animals off. And that's not the only time that I found that bobcat carrying off animals. I've probably gotten total, probably 7 or 8 different videos of the bobcat carrying stuff off, not counting Declan. It just so happens that that's the times I get it on camera. Because obviously, there's billions of trails that a bobcat can take in the woods. He just happened to walk in front of my camera holding 3 dead animals 3 days in a row. The dude's a legend. The dude kills more squirrels than I could even think of. And from what I've seen, the bobcat, he likes squirrels the most. I think they're so easy for him. I think he's super smart about them. I did see him carrying a possum once. And I'm sure he would kill rabbits if given the chance. But the camera that I had was on the ridge, so way up in the mountain. So he's probably killing rabbits all the time. But you don't kill rabbits on the ridge. And so that's why I didn't get any pictures of him with rabbits. But I definitely got a lot of pictures of that bobcat with squirrels. He wrecked them.
Left the house, I actually grabbed a few chicken feathers from my chicken coop, since feathers scattered about is one of the best visual attractants you can do. So I'm just gonna scatter some feathers out there, maybe even stick some in the ground. They're gonna be able to see those feathers and instantly become interested. And just like that,
that was the
set
plan.
number 1, right on the side of this trail, right on the side of this pond. It's looking pretty good. The trap is right there and just waiting for something to accidentally step on it.
Bobcats and all cats are super visual, so like they use their eyes a lot. That's why scent doesn't matter as much with bobcats as it does with coyotes, because coyotes live by their nose. Bobcats live by their eyes. That's why a lot of the footage that I got of the bobcat was during the daytime. Obviously, a lot of it happens at night, but a lot of it happens during the daytime because, I don't know, I guess they can just see really good. Coyotes do a lot of their hunting at night because I guess they're not as sneaky and stuff. But bobcats are super sneaky. Like, they sneak up on people all the time, and the people don't even know
With
it.
trapping, the more traps you can set out, the better. So I spent the rest of the day setting out some more traps. And just because we have those traps set doesn't mean that Tylon can't come down to the pond and kill Shantae tonight. So at this point,
All right, I had some comments in the comments about, yeah, let's find it. There's one close to the top. It was a person. Kendall, dude, I love your content, bro. But seriously, you need to build your animals a hut or something. You'll never be able to kill all the predators in your woods. As someone who has chickens, ducks, ect, I can tell you honestly, will never end. Very true. It's so sad to see your animals constantly die. It doesn't have to be like this. Now, I think he's coming from really good intentions. The thing is that in this video, they have a duck platform. If he would have finished the video before he commented, which you don't have to, I don't care. But you see that we upgrade the duck house. We'll talk about it later. But they already had a duck house. I know we had a little segment right here, and we ended up cutting it out because we figured it felt a little boring. But you can see they actually have a duck platform out here. I built them a really good duck platform that was floating out in the middle. It was super safe. And they did not use it at all. The ducks could care less about the duck platform because they always wanted to come over here and sit on this rock. And I told the ducks, I was like, yo, y'all gonna get killed. You need to get on the duck platform. And they looked at me like they had no idea I was even talking to them. Low-key disrespectful. No, but for real, we built them a duck platform. I built the duck platform before I even got the ducks. But they never used it until Declan got snatched, and then every single day Shantae was on the duck platform. Okay? So, I'm not trying to get my ducks killed. I obviously built them a duck platform. I probably should have put that part in the video, but that's okay. That's what this is for, I guess. But yeah, Shantae, they were like, we don't need a duck platform. They were farm ducks. They didn't know what the wild was. And now Shantae's been living out here on the pond for maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 months. I don't know. She's been living on the pond for a while now. And she has learned what the wild actually is. And she now sits out on the duck platform. She just had to have an awakening experience. Unfortunately, Declan was that experience. So rest in peace, Declan. But yeah, I do try to, I'm not just leaving my ducks out here to die. Same with my chickens. There's a big fence around the chicken coop. I can't help it that much when a fox digs under or like a raccoon chews through the fence. I can't do much about that. I mean, we have a whole guard dog out there named Steve. Not my fault he doesn't do anything. The dude's just lazy. But yeah, we had a duck house. They just didn't use it till it was too late.
doesn't mean that Tylon can't come.
That's where she would sit. She would sit right there at night. That's a terrible idea, Shantae. Get it, you're a duck. Get out in the water. You're going to get yourself killed. This was before she really knew what was happening. During the daytime, the ducks still kind of chill around the bank. You best believe if it's nighttime or it's foggy, they're out in the middle of the pond, exactly where they need to be. For survival, that's where they need to be. You don't need to be on the bank. Shantae could probably No, Shantae couldn't survive a bobcat attack. Shantae is a big duck, though. Declan's a really small duck. Shantae, probably knock a good bobcat around the world a few times.
Come down to the pond and kill Shantae tonight. So at this point, the best thing we can do is just have trust in our traps and watch the trail cameras closely to stay updated on what's going on.
I mean, that's the thing about bobcats. I know I'm pausing it a lot, but geez. I mean, you take a bobcat, literally, the apex predator of animals smaller than deer. If a bobcat wants to kill something, it will. End of story. You can't train a duck to not get killed. If a bobcat wants the duck, it's going to kill the duck. The bobcat found Declan. The bobcat wanted to eat Declan. The bobcat ate Declan. It's just up to the ducks. If they would get out in the middle, they'd be safe. But up until that point, they didn't know they were supposed to do that.
On the first night, we didn't have any bobcats near the traps, but on a different camera, I did get this clip of the bobcat stalking around doing some hunting. Lucky for us though, it wasn't anywhere near the pond, and I'm pretty sure Shantae is safe. The next day, my buddy Tate actually heard that I had lost a duck, so he rolled up to the pond with a little bit of a surprise.
All right, guys, we got a special gift from Tate. What you got?
I've got you 4 new animals for your pond. Some ducks, actual mallards, straight up. This guy over here looks like a male, I believe. I think he's got the green head.
Looks good to me.
These are females, so got them from a pay lake.
Nice.
You're welcome. Yeah.
So Tate actually, where these ducks came from, completely different story. Both groups of duck, Shantae and Declan, and these ducks both came from Tate. He's just a duck man, I guess. Hey, duck man, I like it. But those ducks were domesticated ducks, which means they're not wild. They're just pet ducks, pretty much. They have no survival skills. These are wild ducks, but he rescued them from somewhere they were not wanted. He rescued them because he's actually like me. He is a nuisance wildlife operator or something like that. So we're able to do that, stuff like that. It's kind of cool. But he went and gathered them from a pay lake, which is a big pond where a lot of people fish at, because there were so many of them and they were causing a problem. He went and captured them, and he brought them here because he knew it was going to be, or thought it was going to be a really safe place to release them, where they're actually wanted. Because we do want the ducks. Is it a safe place? Dude, it's just as safe as anywhere else in the wild. I mean, they're wild ducks. They're going to get killed. But they also have... These ducks have something that Declan didn't, and it's called survival instincts. These are wild ducks. They know what's going on. They can fly. They're willing to fly. They know how to fly. They know when to fly. Declan could have made it, but these ducks are way more apt to make it. These are actually wild ducks, and they have the choice to leave. Not that Declan and Shantae didn't have the choice to leave, but they love the pond. Declan and Shantae really love the pond. It's just that, well, he got killed. Part of it.
They definitely can fly. We had to like bait them up with bread and then get a net, and like they were flying. I had to like snag them out of the air. It's pretty epic. I'm not gonna lie. You can film this for you too. All ready?
All right.
Just let her go.
Do whatever you think.
All right. I think this is a female. I can't really tell.
I'm actually thinking it's a male. I think it's a young male.
Here we go. Ready?
Good care.
Whoa. Just doesn't stop.
Still going. Still going.
She go.
Still going.
It's good.
She might.
I don't know if she's coming back.
I don't know what to say about that one.
I told you they can fly. I wasn't lying. All right, I'm just going.
So for the next ones, we brought him down to the pond.
Let's see if he goes in the water.
See, look at this guy. He doesn't have a very green head. I think he's also a male, but I think he's really young.
Water. See, he's accepted the water. Uh-oh, Shantae, look at that. Shantae's got her head feathered
I think
up.
that's a male, right?
I think it is.
Those are females, I think.
Oh, yeah.
you go.
hens.
There we go. This one's a little fidgety.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. I think we're all settled in here.
This was really cool. Yeah, it's really cool. I think ducks are really cool. I think it's a great spot for ducks. They got to learn how to survive, though.
They're not going to
That's
get
okay.
wine wrapped around their necks and stuff out here.
Oh.
So, will they?
I just joking about this part.
At this point, it had been a few
Boom! There we go. Big Shantae, and then we got the 3 mallards. We got, I think maybe the 2. No, I think these 2 are drakes. I do think 2 of them are drakes. The other drake that flew away, that very first one, it came back. I don't know how long it took it, but maybe it circled and quacked a little bit, but he came back.
few days. All the ducks were fine, but all the traps were empty. I checked the trail camera down by the pond, and we had a few deer, but no bobcat. And then when I went up to the other trap, we had some deer, but we also ended up seeing this black bear, which is really cool to see, but it's not the bobcat.
Here's a little shout out to y'all, or question for y'all. Anyone remember what this is from? This is from another video that we did at the same time while we were filming this. I done a short where what happens if you set out a dozen donuts in the woods. We were doing that at the same time we were trying to catch the bobcat. And so I was like, yeah, we're going to tell them what happened. So it's really cool because I set out the donuts just trying to not necessarily attract the bear. That just is what happened to find it. But you'll see what else.
But just a few
You'll see what else walked in front of that camera.
pictures after the bear left, we got footage of the bobcat we'd been looking for. It's Tylon,
got a squirrel.
and he has a fresh kill in his mouth, which could explain why our traps really haven't been tempting him too much.
Dude,
I'm just
wipes
happy that
out
this kill was a squirrel
squirrels.
and not one of my ducks. All right, guys, so now that we just got that information, we know the bobcat's still in the area, which is to be expected, but he's also still a really good hunter. So that means he's not super hungry, which means just our smell coming out of the dirt hole set may not be enough to really draw his attention. So with a cat being cat, I'm gonna switch up the set a little bit to peek something different. Instead of trying to make hunger kill the cat, we're gonna make curiosity kill the cat. With Bob the Builder. Never let me down before, never let me down today. All right, so this really doesn't work with any other animal, but with cats, it does. Literally, I'm gonna hang this thing up right above it. It's gonna twirl, and when that cat sees it, it's gonna be, what the heck is that? It is gonna come to it like a magnet. Right here should be pretty good. And just
Really
for clarification, I put the CD right above the dirt hole set. That way the CD would bring him into the set, and then hopefully the smell would get him from there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do that often. It's very rarely that I'm actually after a bobcat. Here's the thing, I don't hate animals. I don't hate bobcats especially. I actually really like bobcats. And I'd seen him killing squirrels a lot. I didn't care. I mean, I like to kill squirrels too, but I didn't have a problem with him killing squirrels and stuff. It's just that whenever he went down to the pond and he kept going down to the pond, I was like, yeah, we gotta get this guy. If we don't get this guy, then he's going to come back until eventually he ends up killing more ducks. And that's the thing. If a bobcat wants to stay up on the mountain, I'm fine with it. But whenever they start venturing down to the pond, you know, I'm also not opposed to trapping a bobcat. Like, I like them, but I'm not here to, like, protect the species or anything. I mean, there's a billion bobcats out in the woods. I mean, they don't need our help to survive. I'll leave them alone, but in time like this, it's a good time to target them. But yeah, I don't even do this that often. I usually just set for coyotes. I'll kill every coyote I see. Bobcats, I'll let them go.
Though it may not
sometimes.
look like much, that actually added quite a bit to this set. And not long after I got done setting the trap, I had a buddy from church called that had some beavers problems. We're getting super close to harvest season for the corn, and right about that time is whenever the beavers come out and start eating it. So, pretty simple. We're going out and we're going to get them. Let's see, right here, got my snares. I think these are going to come in big handy. And right here, got my other beaver stuff. Grab a few traps, and we are going to be on our way to take out some beavers.
Beaver trapping is something I hadn't done in a while. I hadn't done it in a while because it was time. It was time to get some beavers.
When did they start?
It's not been but an hour or two.
Okay.
You see, but if I don't get them, they'll have this whole end right here cut down and take care of it off. Take it right down through there to the river.
Yeah, we got a pretty defined trail right there. They cut it off pretty clean too, don't they?
Look, you can take a knife to it. That's what they do.
You can tell if you drag it.
Come drag it right here.
Crazy.
And once they find it,
Crazy.
they come every night to get it.
Yeah, right here, at least we know where it is.
I'd say we can get them too.
I think it comes down to this. Beaver walk on trail, set snare on trail. I think that's pretty much it.
Doesn't sound too hard.
No, I think we got this.
So what it was, I didn't give y'all good context. There's the river, and then there's a field beside the river, and those beavers just climb up and eat the corn. So that's why they were here.
So now, he's really got one way to come through there, and it's right through there.
And I believe I ain't sure. I don't know if that's kudzu or not. I can't remember what the leaves look like right off, but super thick viney stuff. And this was before the leaves were falling too. So they just had one good trail wore out, coming straight to the corner of the corn patch where they'd been cutting it down. Easy. Boom. Found their travel route. They made it easy on me.
The snare, it's pretty.
But it's actually really hard. I was kind of worried about this because this was an interesting scenario. See if you guys don't know. You probably do. Especially if you watch videos a lot, you probably figured this out. But now in my area, I'm like the problem animal guy. So if somebody's got something killing their chickens or something killing their dog or something in their yard or something killing corn, they figure out a way to get up with me one way or another. This guy goes to my church, so he was just like, "Hey, Possum Hunter, we need you to go kill some beavers." I was like, "Tell me when." So yeah, that's one thing about it. A lot of these videos are like, why is this dude? There's no way. How many animals always a problem? Like what? I'm the guy they call whenever something's going wrong. So it's natural that, boom, I have a beaver problem. Boom. There's me going to fix it. I don't know if that made any sense or not. Basically what I'm saying is, I don't know. There's an abundance of video content, if you will, just because whenever someone has an animal problem, they call me. So that's why I guess I have a video every week, I guess.
Yeah. I think for the other spot.
But dude, I like it too. I like it. I like going out there. Hunting animals is one thing. I love hunting, obviously. Big animals, deer, squirrels, rabbits. But one of my favorite things to do is stuff like this, where there is a beaver and it is causing problems for humans. It's messing up his farming. He's a farmer. He's got cows. He needs this corn. And those beavers, if left unchecked, they're going to mess it up. They're going to put a really big dent, and that dent is going to be a detriment to society. That's what I like doing. Because I get to go in there, not only do I get to have fun learning about the animal, I get to catch the animal. A lot of times I get to eat the animal, but at the end of the day, I'm also helping somebody else out, which is the best thing in the world. That's what I want to do anyhow. If I wasn't doing YouTube, I'd be right there trapping that beaver if there was no YouTube ever. I'm telling you right now.
Probably set it right here. And we might do something similar. Probably not big bunches of sticks out here, but we will maybe stack a couple pieces of corn stalk so that it's easier to walk
Look at
through.
that guy. He thinks he knows exactly what he's doing. He's just trying his best. But if I didn't have a YouTube channel,
pops out, tied off in an area. A few feet
I'd be
down, we
right
got
there
another
setting that
snare,
snare.
and it's tied off over here so that if we do get two beavers, they shouldn't be able to touch it.
look at me getting all theoretical on if we catch two beavers. But yeah, dude. I'm hoping they come right up his trail. Boom, gets caught. He twirls around. The other one, I'm assuming there's multiple because beavers, where there's one, there's five. I'm assuming another beaver comes up, walks the same trail, boom, gets caught. We have two beavers in the morning. That's the game plan.
Each other and wrap each other up. We got those two set. We're gonna put me a trail camera right here, watching all of it so that we can see what happens, how it happens, and if any more comes through, if we catch them.
I think it'll work.
I do too. I think we might have problems later on if we don't catch them quick. But I mean, I think this right here is two beavers.
Yeah.
It feels good. We'll be back in the morning to check these things. Hopefully we get that bobcat too. Rest in peace, Declan. All right, Easton, what do you think? What do you think our odds are?
Pretty good.
All right, let's go check.
I thought our odds was 80%. Well, we knew the beavers were for a fact were coming every single night, so I thought my odds were like 99, 97. 95 is what I thought. 90% odds. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, son. Something happened last night, but I don't know if we got a beaver.
He was definitely in there.
He was here, and for something, it only got around his leg and he slipped out or something. Well, son, that ain't good.
Check the shell cabinet and see what happened.
Yeah, we're going.
When I saw that, whenever I seen that the trap I set, the snare was tripped, I was like, oh gosh, we're in for it now. Because beavers are very, very smart. They're really dumb until they figure out a pattern. Then they figured it out. So like the pattern for that beaver would be, I see a little silver thing around a hole. Last time I walked through it, it tried to grab my arm. Now from now on, if I see a little silver thing, I'm going around it. That's kind of thing. They can get trap smart really, really, really fast. Like if you get really close to catching a beaver, but he gets away, you better be figuring something else different because you ain't catching that beaver that way. So I was really scared. I was like, dang it, dude. Usually on these beavers, you can hit them hard one night, and if you can catch it, you got him. But if he finds your trap, gets out of it, that's gonna be a lot harder to catch him. And so I thought that the beaver got caught, got out, and I thought he was gonna be trap smart from here on out. Luckily though, and that's why I do this, set the KG trail camera out so that I have information on what actually went down.
I'm gonna take the trail camera back and see what happened. All right, so here's the first video.
They're worth
That's
their
just
weight
the wind
in
blowing.
gold.
Here we got something right up on the screen. It looks like at least two raccoons or one right there, but they might have made the screen kind of smudgy by licking it or something. We'll keep on skipping. Here, I think that's a beaver in the middle.
Yeah, that's...
No, maybe a raccoon. That whatever that was is probably, it was a raccoon. Though the raccoons are using that hole.
Well,
We didn't plan on that. All right, let's keep looking. That could be good news, because if the raccoon knocked over the snare, then the beaver may not know what it is yet.
yeah.
So that might actually give us some hope. I think that might be a beaver.
Yeah.
I can't tell though. Yeah, acting like a beaver, it's real slow. We didn't get perfect footage of it because the slobber was on the camera, but there he is actually taking corn stalks.
I know.
But you know what the good thing is? He's not afraid of that trail.
Yeah.
And here's the raccoon a little bit later, just walking through. And then here's a pretty good picture of the beaver. One thing about it, the beaver did go around this snare. Whether he knows to or just got lucky, I'm not really sure. And then there's us this morning. I'm thinking we should reset that one that was tripped. I think maybe we get another snare and go set it on that new path.
Yeah.
Just in case. And that gives us twice as many chances in case a raccoon comes by. I think that's our best chance. It looks like it might just be one beaver for now.
Just
For
like
now.
One beaver coming in different times.
Yeah. We're gonna set another snare on that other spot. Wonder if we should set some raccoon traps just to get them out of our way.
Sure.
I just conveniently happened to bring two of them, so.
Yeah, so what happened?
Anyways, we reset the traps. I'm feeling good about tonight, I think. But if tonight don't work, then we're just gonna have to figure something else out because we gotta get these beavers out. But as for now, let's go to the pond and check the bobcat traps. Who knows? Maybe we got Kylo. When I arrived to the pond, our traps was empty once again. But whenever I took a look around at the ducks, I noticed that one of them was missing. All right, guys, I don't know what's going on, but there is a duck that is not here. All right, we got Shantae, which is all good and dandy. And out there is the mallards we got. But if you look closely, there's only 3 of them. And yesterday, we had 4. Now, I don't want to freak out too much because obviously those are wild ducks. They can always fly away. But that's not really, they don't really do that whenever they've picked a pond and they like it. Those ducks have been here for about a week and they've decided to stay here. I don't think that there's just going to be one of them randomly decide to leave on its own. And I don't see it anywhere else on the pond. I don't know. The pond is actually down, so let's check over here in the mud and see what kind of tracks we might see. And then we do have that trail camera. We will pull that SD card and we will check it right now. I can see some stuff. Hopefully it's not too muddy. But the muddier it is, the more tracks will show. Obviously, we got a lot of ducks. That's to be expected. Maybe even right there looks like maybe a turkey, maybe a blue heron or one of them things. Right here we got a predator. I don't know if y'all recognize that, but that's a raccoon track. That definitely could be the predator. But let's take a closer look and see if we can see some cat tracks. There's more raccoon tracks. Here's a feather. Now, just because we found a feather don't mean that something died.
That might
but
be
it is a
Declan's feather.
possibility.
I can't even tell.
I'm going to take a look around the bank, see what kind of tracks I can see. And also look around and see if I can see a bunch of feathers where something may have went down last night. I took a look around the pond and I didn't see anything that looked like where a duck had been killed. But when I was looking at the tracks this time, I noticed something a little bit more than just the raccoon. All right, we might have something right here. I don't know how fresh this is. I don't think it's from last night, but this is important. Check it out. That there's a cat track, a bobcat track. You can see he went.
You can tell it's a bobcat track, and here's how. Let me pull up a little example thing, and I'll show you exactly. A bobcat versus a coyote. Really good thing to know, I guess. And I guess a coyote track and a dog track's very similar, but let me find it right here. I'm trying to look for some images. That way I'll show you what we're looking for. Yeah, so here we go. Here's a coyote track versus a bobcat track. With a coyote track, it's a little more oval. With a bobcat track, it's more round. Very round. With a coyote track, you're going to see toenails. With a bobcat track, they don't have toenails. Any cat track. Because they have retractable claws. So when they're walking around, they don't need them. So they pull them in so they don't get dull. That's why cat claws can be so sharp. It's because they don't walk around them all day. They just pull them back in their hand and they stay sharp. So yeah, you're going to look for that. If you see toenails, it's not a cat. Also, if you can draw an X in between its toes and its like pad thing, better chance it's a dog. Whereas here, you can't really draw that X. And also this right here, this little pad, it's got like a bump in the middle. So yeah, that's kind of a bobcat thing. And right here, you can see we cannot draw the X because it's going to hit the pad right here and it's got the little dimple thing. Can't really see the dimple thing, but you can definitely see how round it is and there's no toenails. Plus, at the same time, we knew there's a bobcat in the area. It's a bobcat.
There, and here, and there, and he went straight over the side of the pond. I don't think it's last night fresh. It's not.
And also, I said that he went straight down the pond right there. I think I said that backwards. I don't know if I meant to say that, but he actually came from the pond that way because the direction of the tracks were heading technically this way for y'all is heading this way. So he came from the pond right through here and went up to where he
Not
actually
actually rained here in a while, so those tracks.
I'm gonna skip through some of this stuff.
That's kind of hard to see. That's
There's
different.
a little raccoon track.
Nothing crazy. Probably
And as we're
not
checking
who
this
killed
camera.
the chicken. Same sure. So he would. Hey, that camera. We just really don't know. But I think what I'm going to do tonight.
To just summarize, we ended up seeing a coyote on camera. I usually go the route of innocent until proven guilty. That's why I narrowed it down to a bobcat killed Declan, because it's pretty obvious. We had a picture of a Declan in a bobcat's mouth. But if I hadn't got that picture, guys, it would have been hard to really nail down what killed Declan, because there's raccoons. They would take a duck if they can. It's really easy. Bobcat, fox, coyote, they're all four in the area. Even a black bear, if it could stumble up on Declan, all those animals are in the area, and all those animals would kill a duck and eat it. Just so happened we kind of got lucky in the fact that we even got the picture of Declan being packed off. It's kind of crazy. The odds of us getting that picture is so low.
Tonight is I'm going to come back with a thermal, a predator call, and shoot anything that comes into a duck in distress noise. All right, guys, we're out here at the pond. It's not quite dark yet, but I actually brought the thermal drone out. I'm going to fly it around right here at the edge of the dark and just see if I can see any critters sneaking around, you know what I mean? We may pick up on the bobcat out there in the field right now and just go ahead and take him out before the hunt even starts.
At this time, there's still a lot of leaves in the trees, so really dissecting the woods is
All right, guys,
hard.
so here's what the drone's seeing. Down we got the pond. We can go ahead and switch to infrared. This is basically thermal. Things that are hot are gonna pop up. Then we also have a zoom lens where we can zoom in really tight on different things of interest. Right here, it appears to be the 3 mallards that we have left. Then for IR, I don't know if we can see them. They're a little small right there, but they should glow white if they're hot. For example, here's me in the back of the truck. We are white hot. But anyways, let's start looking around this field, around the edges, and see if we can find some stuff. All this is thick stuff right here, so there could be animals in there hunting. Here we got some things glowing white hot. We got a few numbers out here, actually a lot of numbers out here. It's most likely a bunch of deer, but that's a good sign to have that many deer. Let's check out these two first. Looks like maybe two young bucks. Looks like they're honestly like a spike and a fork, which isn't really the bobcat we're after. There's another one. That one's a bigger buck. Not anything huge, but definitely a respectable buck.
Might end up shooting him this year.
There's something warm. Let's check it out. Looks like it's actually a rock though. Rocks give off heat too, which can be confusing sometimes, especially when you're really looking for something. Either way, it's getting actually dark, so I think it's about time to start calling. Let's get this call out and let's get ready.
There's definitely a learning curve to the drone, just by identifying stuff versus rocks. As it gets colder, it's going to get easier though. This time it was still really hot. The thermal wasn't really that great. And this is actually night vision. Nothing.
All right, guys, it's the next day. Let's go check those beaver traps.
Dude, the feeling of that right there, the feeling of this right here when you're trapping, of just rolling up, you're coming around the corner, do we got him? Yes, we got it. So fun.
There he is, son, big old beaver.
And fulfilled,
Oh, gosh,
because we
he
know
is
we
big,
just
too.
solved the problem.
He said something gnawing or something.
Not
Dude,
that
he
I
could
hate
have been getting in a little fire. Dude, that
love
thing's
beaver.
big.
One of my
Raccoon
favorite
trap
animals.
looks like it's set off, but nothing's
Sometimes
in
they
it.
need to be
Our
killed.
other snare, he might have been able to
This
touch
is
it,
one
but
of
yeah, it does look like something's been chewing on him. That's a big beaver, dude.
Yeah.
Look how
Huge.
thick his tail is.
Yeah.
That thing's massive.
Look how big his head is.
I know, his head's huge.
Crazy.
Now, is this the one and only beaver that's been eating the corn? There's a good chance probably not. But I am going to take the trail camera home. We will check it there. But as for right here, right now, it's definitely one of the big beavers that's eating the corn. This dude's the biggest beaver I've ever caught, ever. Or ever seen, too.
Pretty big.
Yeah.
Probably the biggest beaver I've ever seen.
This is definitely the guy that's been eating a lot of corn. I do know that. All right, I'm gonna cut this snare off this guy, and then we're gonna pick him up and see how big this dude really is. All right, there's that. He is free.
So-
Go ahead.
Typically with snaring animals, you're gonna try to get their head, and it'll honestly choke them out and kill them. But with beavers, in my limited experience snaring them, it seems like it's always a body catch, just because their head is like a, shoot, I don't even know. Yeah, what's the word? They don't have a neck. Okay, it goes straight from their head to like their shoulders. They don't have a neck, so catching them around the neck, it doesn't happen that often. It's usually always a body, which is fine. You know, they just twist around there for like all night. End of the day, we got to be realistic. It gets the beavers out of there, and look what we did. We just solved a problem.
Go ahead and grab him and see how big you think that dude is. He's over 50 pounds for sure. Is it bigger than 50 pounds?
It might be 50, 60.
I weighed him once I got home. He was
Is it heavier
55.
than a bag of corn?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was
He's been in
55.
that river a long time. I bet he's eating your
Look how
corn
big
a lot.
that tail is.
He's been here before. Either way, though, one beaver down. We're gonna go ahead and set more snares. There may not be any more beavers coming to the corn in the next little bit, but just in case there is, set up another snare right there. Maybe we'll catch another one tonight, who knows. When we headed back to the pond to check the bobcat traps, we had
Snares?
something, but
A little quick input, little thought. Snares are like the IED of the trapping world. What does that mean? I don't even know.
it wasn't exactly the bobcat we were looking for. That is not the cat we're looking for, but I'll take it. If nothing else, I'll take it. It honestly looks like he's not been here long either. If he would been here much longer, or if he'd been here a long time, this place would be tore up really good, but I don't think he's actually been here very long. Looks like the old Bob the Builder did it right, huh? I'm alright. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and take care of this
you're
guy.
right.
And I'm just gonna reset the trap just like it was. And hopefully that bobcat will be back through. The next day, we hadn't had anything in the bobcat traps, and we didn't see any activity either. And when we went to check the beaver traps, once again, nothing in the traps. And when we checked the trail camera, there was no more signs of beavers. We could have potentially caught the one and only beaver eating the corn. But at this point, we're just gonna have to wait it out, and time will tell.
So, from here to the end of the video, we do not mention the beaver at all anymore. I should have, but I'll tell y'all an update now. So basically, that beaver was the only beaver eating corn, although there's probably 15 in the river. We caught that beaver, and the corn was perfectly fine for about 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, beavers came back. I was gone for a couple days, so I told them, we left the snares there. I told them just set up the snares and should get them. They ended up trapping 2 more beavers, and then they haven't been back either. So far we got 3 beavers off that thing, but every time we'd catch a beaver, it'd be like a cool down period where they would leave it alone. Sure saved a lot of corn, I know that. And now they've
A few days
harvested it
later,
already.
and we've yet to catch the bobcat. But once again, from the trail cam footage, we can confirm that not only is he still out there, but he's actually still actively hunting around the pond too. And back at the pond right here we are with the ducks, but I have, I believe, unfortunate news. Just like we was just looking at, we've seen the trail cam footage, the bobcat has been around here. I've not got footage of him carrying off a duck. However, looking at our duck numbers on the pond, we don't have as many as we did a couple days ago. So, you know, I don't know. I guess it's not a couple more ducks, but right now we got 3 total.
We have 3 total ducks at this point in the video. And we still have 3 total ducks. Here, let me show you something. I have a question.
I don't know. I guess it's not a couple more ducks, but right now we got 3 total. We got Shantae, who's been here since the beginning and died with Declan, and was the sole survivor of the Declan incident of 2024. And then we have 1 green.
Listen to this. All right, here's my theory. Now that the video's over, I have a different theory. What are the odds that all 4 of those mallards we put in the pond left, because these are wild ducks, they have no real obligation to stay here? What are the odds they completely left 1 by 1, 2 by 2, and these are different ducks that found the pond on their own? Because ducks, they'll hop ponds. Even if they stay local, they'll hop ponds. I happen to have really good water, really good food, because we got clover planted around the pond, just where we wanted to put out like deer food or whatever. So the ducks love that. It's pretty safe if they get on the duck platform, and we even have fish feeders that go off and they eat that. So they're living the best life a duck could. But what are the odds these are different ducks? Because that duck has a very green head, and neither of the ducks we put in there had really green heads. This one's mature.
Green head mallard, and then 1 female.
Now, could he have become more mature? And his head got greener over time? I assume so. But this duck looks a lot
mallard.
different.
That's 1 drake and 1 hen, but that's down to 3. That's down to 3. Now, if you remember from a little bit ago, whenever Tate brought the mallards, he brought 4 of them. And to be honest, the picture that we got of the bobcat actively killing Declan, honestly, I think we got pretty lucky to even get that picture at all. I mean, bobcats aren't careless. They don't do things just to be doing it. They're pretty calculated, and they're not going to walk around this pond 30 times. They're going to sneak in, get the kill, and go straight back out and be as undetected as possible. That's how bobcats roll. They're not messy. On the other hand, we have some tracks down here of a critter that is messy and does not care to leave a scene.
So just to wrap this up, no, I'm not wrapping up the video. I'm just wrapping up that segment. Do I think a bobcat actually killed Declan? Yes, 100%. 100% bobcat killed Declan. We got the footage. Do I actually think the bobcat killed the mallards? I don't know. I cannot prove that it did, And there's a part of me that says maybe not, because they are wild ducks and they do migrate. There's a part of me that just says maybe the ducks left, but at the same time, I don't really know. You just got to use the best context clues. That's why I was looking for tracks and looking for feathers. I never found a lot of feathers anywhere. So maybe they didn't.
And once again, it is the raccoon tracks. Now, we do have footage of a raccoon actively trying to get into the fish feeder.
All right, I always have a lot of people comment, dude, this is so fake. This footage is from 2022. Staged, it's fake. Boys, I didn't even have the pond in 2022. Why would you? I didn't even have the pond in 2022. What's the odds I just did? What are the odds I'm faking all this versus just not set my dates correctly? Probably the odds are more in the favor that I just don't set the dates. And well, that's what happened. I don't really set the dates on cameras. First of all, I think it's a great idea, but I forget. Okay. Every single time I forget. I don't even look at dates hardly ever. But yeah, it's funny because people in the comments keep saying like, dude, it's so fake. That footage was from 2022. No, I didn't even have the pond in 2022, let alone the fish feeder. The fish feeder's brand new.
Now, you know, look at the footage. He's not killing any ducks right here, but he is in the same area as the ducks. And at this point, he could be a threat if he got hungry enough. And since he was just right down here recently, we're going straight down there and setting this cage trap. And after I set this trap, since we know the bobcat's been active, but whatever we're doing, just haven't caught him, I'm going back up on the mountain. I'm going to set a very, very flashy set that I think might just be able to get this bobcat. We're going super simple cage trap. Make sure it's good and level in the mud. Open me up a bag of Cheetos.
Dude, you can catch a raccoon on anything.
Get this trap set. And then I got a little bit of syrup just for some smell.
You can catch.
Then we're coming in with this.
You can catch a raccoon on a ball of tinfoil. Go to the gas station, get a sausage egg biscuit, eat it, roll up the wrapper, and throw it in the back of the trap. You can catch a raccoon on that. It's awesome. Then at the same time, I've been trying to catch a bobcat for almost 2 months. Crazy.
KG trail camera. We're gonna set it right up here, watching that trap, so we can see everything and anything that goes on here. Now let's head on up to the mountain and let's reset this bobcat trap. We're gonna be making a cubby set. And if I had to guess, I would say this is the trap that's gonna catch the bobcat. But to do it, it's just a dirt hole set. It's super simple, but instead of making it discreet, we're gonna build up the back really big to where it's literally a cubby that the animal has to walk through.
It's the seagulls from Nemo.
Now, you'll probably never catch a coyote making a set like this, but for bobcats, it's perfect, and they're not scared of it at all. But of course, I'm gonna bring back this CD. Let it dangle right above the trap. Dude, I think we have a good chance of having something really soon. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully we got something. The next day, when I went to check the raccoon trap, I noticed there wasn't actually any bait in it, but the trap was still set. But when I went to review the footage, I figured out why that was the case. I believe my ducks had found the Cheetos. No big deal, we'll just rebait. As for the bobcat trap, the bobcat hadn't been seen last night, but early this morning, the bobcat trap had a different visitor, a much larger visitor.
This is probably my favorite part of the video. It's just so cool.
Throughout the night, the weather was really rainy, which makes sense why we didn't catch anything. Critters don't really move a ton during a hard rain. For the next few days, the rain continued, which essentially halts trapping altogether. See, when you get a ton of rain, not only does it make the entire trap area a thick, muddy mess, which can really slow down your traps, but it also floods your dirt hole and suppresses scent pretty much completely. Meanwhile, back at the pond, it is actually filling up, which I'm not mad about at all. With the dry summer we'd had, the pond was getting kind of low, but this storm right here has a chance to fill it all the way back up. But while all this is happening,
And this wasn't just rain. It was a thing called Hurricane Helene. So it's not just rain, it's an excess of rain, if you know what I mean.
happening back up at the foothold,
When you get that much rain, it really does stop trapping altogether. Because here's what happens. You go, you put that dirt, you sift it over, you dig your little dirt hole. Rain comes, it sinks into the dirt. Your dirt hole fills up with water, so no scent is getting out of the hole. If it doesn't dry, then basically now you have a pond sitting on your trap, and an animal's not going to go step in a pond, let alone a bobcat. Bobcat's staying on dry land. He's not going to go put his foot in a water hole. So they're not putting their foot there. Whenever it stops raining, like the mud that is now created is so much heavier, and it just so much heavier on the trap. So even if something did step on it, it'd go, because it's so heavy. And then if it dries afterwards and like the heat gets down, it almost bakes it into like clay, which is what people build houses out of in Africa or somewhere. So it pretty much cements your trap into the ground. I've had it to where I set a really good set. It rained on it. Then the sun comes out, heats it up, dries it. And you can take a hammer and hit on it and the trap's not going off. It's kind of crazy. It kind of stinks. And I'm not looking forward to January because it rains every other day in January. That's why trapping's so hard.
Big Black Bear is
Late in the
back.
year.
And this time, he's all over my set. And in the process, he sets it off. I'm not too worried about it, though, since during this big rainstorm, the odds of catching the bobcat are pretty much slim to none. Best thing we can do is just hope the pond fills up and get back out there and reset the traps when all the rain finally stops. Well, well, well. I believe we caught the raccoon we're after. Ain't that right, little Mr. Raccoon? Huh? What you doing? What you doing? I'm just kidding. I don't mean to scare you, but I don't really think this guy's all that scared. This is probably a big boar raccoon. He's really big. Yeah, this raccoon, oh gosh, I don't know how heavy he is, but he's really heavy. This is, like I was saying, probably a big boar raccoon, and he is getting fat for winter. And he just so happened to know exactly where to do it, which is right over here at the fish feeder. And hey, there we got the ducks. So far, so good. We've still got the 3, and they have been doing good. They've even got their little duck house out there. I don't know if I told you this, but I upgraded it a little bit. Now I've chained it out completely out in the middle, and it's even got a little upside down dog house. So yeah, I actually upgraded the duck house to try to make it even better for them. And since then, I've upgraded it again. That right there is 2 8 by 4 pieces of plywood. So now it's 8 by 8. It's a big 8 foot by 8 foot square. It's got that upside down doghouse. It's all floated, so it stays up off the ground, stays dry. And it's even chained to the bottom to where it's going to stay out in the middle. But recently I went and added another big piece of plywood. So now it's 12 by 8. A big platform. It's really dry. And now the ducks have accepted it a lot more, and they like to stay on it a lot, which is the objective. You got to make it so good that they want to be there. And now they want to be there, so it's good. And they realize why, so that they can get in it if the weather's bad. But yeah, one raccoon down. Could that have potentially snatched one of the ducks? You never know, potentially. I know for a fact he wouldn't pass it up if he had the opportunity. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and take care of this guy. But as for the bobcat, trapping, especially predators, they're not all created equal. I bought this thing of really professional coyote bait, predator bait. I couldn't catch anything on it all last year. Tried so hard. Nothing cared. I would get animals that would walk by, look at it, sniff, and keep going. And I got
tens and tens, like 40 interactions of coyotes and bobcats and fox just looking at it and leaving. I was like, what is going on? Anyways, trapping season ended. I stopped trapping. I start back with that bait right here, and I didn't catch anything. I even had the bobcats walking right past it. I had the bobcats walking around it and leaving. It's like, something's wrong, man. Maybe the bait's bad, and that's a good possibility. So then I go out and I pull out pork chops, and it's like the randomest stuff is what they just love it. I've trapped a little bit recently. It'll be another video. I'll tell you guys because you guys are here, so I'll tell you guys secrets and stuff. But I'm trapping coyotes in another video. I'm using deer meat that's like 2 or 3 years old, just deer meat, cutting off a cube, throwing it in a hole. I'm catching like 3 coyotes in 7 days. That means they want it. They want it. They want it bad. But the other bait that I bought, they don't want it. It's almost like a repellent. But now if a bait is a little bit too burnt, or it's a little bit too bad, or there's a little bit of something in there that's just, they don't care. Dude, take a hunk of meat and throw it down in the hole. Take an old hamburger that someone ate half the hamburger and stick the rest down the hole. Get some meatballs, throw it down in the hole. Get a piece of bacon and throw it down in the hole. That's what they want. They want food, opposed to some concoction that someone grinded up in a concrete blender or something. Random pork chop scraps. I don't even know if it was pork chops. You'll see what I caught on it. A lot.
Chop, scraps. Yeah. And we're gonna be setting another trap right here. If we can set these 2 traps, rebait them, and the bear stays away, I think we should have the bobcat this week. I'm gonna set him 1 piece right here. Look, this is a teaser.
Take a chunk, lay it
Let's
down.
stick the whole rest of this
Take
back in
another
that
chunk,
hole,
throw it
punch
down
it
the
down
hole.
deep, and this should catch
Perfect.
a bobcat. But I
Perfect.
think that trap can catch them, but just in case it don't, setting another one right there.
I feel like it's obvious, but why did I set 2 traps? Well, because it seemed like every time I set that one that the bear would come set it off. So I was like, well, I'm going to set 2 traps right beside each other just in the crazy case that the bear only sets off one and the other one could still work for me. So I just had the traps set off so many times that I was like, man, I just want to make sure I got more traps.
Is going to catch the bobcat. I know that's what I said last time, but this one
And then I reset that thing. And then what I should have said is if you guys like the channel and you want to support it, to buy some merch at KendallGrayOutdoors.com. That's all. I just want to let you guys know. I appreciate if you guys buy stuff. And you know what I appreciate more than anything? Y'all leaving a comment on the video. It means so much. It really does.
Yay! We caught the most desirable combo of species in the animal kingdom. We got a possum and a skunk. Man, today don't get any better.
They like them pork chops.
What a
too,
day. Yippee. I don't know, I will say the skunk does look pretty good.
Yeah, they like them pork chops.
Out of all the skunks I've caught, that is probably the best one. But here's the thing, to take out a skunk, this could potentially mess up the entire area if, well, you know what I mean. I've got to do a lung shot. And
with skunks, the way that they say to do it, if you shoot them in the head, which sounds really good, it makes their nerves go crazy, and just they spray 9 out of 10 times. If you shoot them in the lungs, they spray 1 out of 10 times. So it's kind of flipped. And in my experience, it's been just that. Headshots, 100% spray. Lung shots, I've never had one spray. Now, they may fart or something, or they may just have their natural smell. It's still going to smell like skunk, but it ain't going to spray. When it sprays, you know it. Okay. Everything, it's like, oh, it's bad. And there's a lot of it. And even at that, definitely no guarantee that he's not going to spray. So, I'm going to back up, and I'm going to aim for the lungs. We're just going to hope that we can get this guy out of this trap. Yeah, get a good broadside shot. Little 22. They don't know what's going on. They don't know what just happened. I think and then they just slowly fade off. If all goes well, he just thinks it was something like a bee sting, and he doesn't think anything about it. So think about it. He walks into a briar, it pokes him, he gets stung by a bee. He's not going to spray because he thinks he got poked by a briar bush. He's going to save the spray for like something on top of him and biting him and chasing him. Whereas the headshot, it's not about what he's thinking, because his brain is gone if you shoot him in the head. So it's just like his nerves just like... Whereas the lungs, he's kind of like, I don't see anything trying to eat me. I guess I'm not going to spray. Because it's a big liability. If they spray, it takes like so many days, like a week or maybe more, just to regain that spray. So you can't just be spraying everything, because as soon as you spray, you're vulnerable for the next 7 days. If you're a skunk. But, I mean, maybe sprayed a little bit. It's not bad, though. Yeah, I mean, as for skunk goes, this is like the best looking skunk I've ever seen in my life. Like, that is some really good amazing
fur. Really good
Should have
fur.
had that mounted.
As for the possum, he's so average it's hard to talk about.
But yeah, this bobcat's been hard to trap, and it ain't even because of the bobcat. Whether it's possums getting in the traps, raccoons getting in the traps, skunks getting in the traps, or the big old black bear that comes and just rips open the traps and sets them off. Between all that, it's really stretched this out a lot longer than I wanted it to go. The only thing we can do is keep the traps set, and that's the best we can do. I'm gonna reset these traps. Hopefully soon we'll get him. Possum. I don't even spend bullets on possums anymore. I just go a cheaper alternative route. It's very fast, very efficient. Same result. Also, let me show you something behind the scenes. I didn't mention it. One of the black bears tore down Bob the Builder, and I couldn't find it at all. So Bob the Builder is probably somewhere on this mountain. But I went ahead and tied up some chicken feathers. And it brought him in. And once he got caught, he just sat there. And I got a lot more trail cam footage of him just sitting there like that, looking around like this. Really well behaved. Also, this was unintentional. But I caught this bobcat at like 9:14 a.m. So in the morning, but during the day. And I'll roll up to this trap at 9:30 a.m. because I can't remember what I was going to do. I think I think I was going to change the batteries on this trail camera. But I came to check the trap 15 minutes after we caught him, which is crazy because if I would have been 15 minutes earlier, then I would have probably scared off the bobcat and not caught him. It's just crazy. Coyotes, you always catch them at night. Always. 99% of the time, you catch the coyote in the middle of the night. Bobcats, not really so much because they're so active during the day. Coyotes aren't that active during the day. He's just looking around. He's like, oh,
No!
dang.
No way, we got it! We stinking got it!
Mhm.
Yes!
Here's
Yes!
me.
Oh my gosh!
Very
It's been
excited.
so long! We've been trying to get this thing forever! Yes! Dude, we finally got the stinking bobcat! Oh my gosh, it feels like
There's me
forever.
extremely
Oh my
excited
gosh.
because this was like a month and a half journey
Oh my
of me
gosh.
trying to catch this bobcat. It was a month and a half. When the video started, there was still leaves on the trees. And by this time, there are no, like, there's a few leaves on the trees, but it's real fall. And this is a male. You can see it's got that little scruff on the outside, and it's just so much bigger. It's so cool. Now, I should have been a lot more quiet and calm because when you got an animal in the trap, they kind of match your energy. So if you're freaking out, they're kind of going to freak out. My bad on that one. Should have calmed down a little bit, but I was pumped.
That's going to be circling
I
the
was
pond.
pumped.
And although I can't directly confirm that this is the exact bobcat that killed Declan, I know that it is the bobcat that'd be more than happy to kill Shantae whenever given the chance.
Oh my God. I don't like it when they do that.
Hey, stop,
Obviously-
stop, stop. Calm down, calm down,
I don't
calm
like it.
down. He's in the foot trap. He's
But
caught
they do
good.
it.
He's not going anywhere. And look at him eyeing that feather. Just thinking he's going to kill it or something. Oh my gosh.
Scary, dude.
Oh my gosh. What was that?
Let's replay that. It was cool.
Ty Lung finally down.
I don't want to find out.
To the
And then
side.
yada, yada, yada. We
Hi,
go
dude,
through.
I don't
We
even know how to
get the
hold him.
bobcat. I weighed him. No, I weighed him in the video.
Hold him up.
25 pounds.
Is that really the only bobcat that's been hunting the ducks? Click over here for a red fox that got into the chicken lot and was killing all my chickens. Or right over here for hunting down a pack of coyotes that...
This is what people probably think I'm crazy for. It's like, oh, you let your chickens get killed by a fox. Oh, you let your dog get killed by a coyote. Oh, you let your duck get killed by a... I did not choose for these animals to do this. It's wild animals. And don't forget, I do not live in suburban Ohio. I live in the middle of Kentucky in mountains. There are wild animals in my backyard. I don't live in a subdivision. I don't live on flatland. I live in the mountains where there's an abundance of wildlife just trying to eat. Now, are the coyotes doing anything wrong by killing my dog? Not really. Fair enough. I think that's fair. I don't like it. I think it's fair that a fox finds chickens and kills them. I think that's fair. But that don't mean I'm just going to let them do it. I mean, I'm still going to stop them. I don't want to lose chickens. I'm not mad. I don't hate the fox. I don't hate the bobcat. But I'm also not going to just let the fox and let the bobcat eat everything I own. I don't hate the animals. But I'm not going to let them do that either. Obviously not. What? Let's read some of these comments. I know that you guys who really watch these videos, like, really are, you know, like a family almost, and like are watching this right now. I know that y'all understand a lot more about where I'm coming from and how I think and all that good stuff. But a lot of these people, we got to remember, a lot of these comments don't. A lot of these comments may be the first time seeing it, but some of them you can tell they're people and they just don't know what the real world's like. It's kind of crazy, but it's whatever. A lot of you guys, the bear was hilarious. It really was. That was my favorite clip of the whole video, honestly. The bobcat is just a hungry boy. 100%. And I'm just a boy that is killing hungry boys. And that's just it too. I can't really help that. Not my fault. Can't wait to get home and watch this with my son. That's the best thing in the world, dude. It's gotten him interested in hunting it with Dad. That's the best thing in the world. A father and son watching KG video. I just think that's the best thing in the world. Dude, when he stepped in the trap, Now that is a clip that we do not get to see often. I have a lot of trail cameras set on traps because I like information. I like to see what passed it up, what they thought about it. Very, very rarely do you get lucky enough to get the clip of the animal stepping in the trap. So good. Here we go. The 30, whenever I was screaming, I was so excited. He said, as a farmer, I know the feeling. I know farmers know the feeling. Hunters, homesteaders, people who just have like pets and just live out in the woods, in the mountains and in the wilderness, whatever. We understand things like this happen. And there's not a lot you can do about it. Obviously, we can try our best to prevent these things from happening, but it's going to happen. It's not my fault that a bobcat naturally tries to kill ducks on a pond. That's nature. But I can trap the bobcat and stop him from killing 2 more ducks. I can do that. Let's see. Yeah, that's the one we looked at earlier. Let's check out some of these. Jesus to tell Declan. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Pet duck. Oh, here we go. A pet duck. Bobcats hunt. Ducks duck and get eaten. Frankly, I'm on the bobcat side. Okay, cool. Bobcat killed my duck. I killed bobcat. I think that's fair. Cutting my duck population in half. Yeah, I went from 2 to 1. It's pretty devastating. Let's see. Things I learned from this video. Bobcats like ducks. True. How to hunt bobcat. I guess you kind of learned, I guess. I'll never be able to catch a bobcat. Dude, it's hard. But the crazy thing about trapping him, we could have caught him the first night. And that would have been normal. And just so happened we caught him on like a month and a half. And that's also normal. That's what makes it fun, though. Never know what's going to happen. I don't know. Under an hour gang. Yeah, but all you guys that comment stuff like this, great. Thank you so much. And we need you guys to be leaving comments. It really helps everything. It helps the other people leaving comments because it's building a community of people who actually really like this thing. Here's one of my favorite comments. What's your favorite way to eat a potato? I said smashed and fried, where you take the potato and smash it and then you fry it. I've never even eaten potatoes like that, but I think it would probably be my favorite way. I probably should try that soon. This is the best looking skunk I've ever seen in my life. As for the possum, he's so average to talk about. That's a very true statement. Very true statement. Let's see. These are good. Yeah, all these comments are good. Comments, and you guys are what makes it all possible. And worth doing. Yeah, for real. The bobcat just peed on the trap and left. I'm glad that we run so many KG trail cameras out there so that we can get the footage. Cause we got some cool footage. We got some cool stinking footage from those trail cameras. Took a while for sure. Daggone, you're telling me. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching this. If you guys like the longer episodes and like the recaps and whatever this is even called, let me know. But this is really my thoughts on hunting down the bobcat that killed my duck. Click over here if you want to see another video where we did it over the pronghorn episode. That one was really fun. That video didn't go out as the way we wanted it to, but I'll tell you a little bit about that.